everybody. I'm really excited to be making quiche with you all today. If you have any questions or comments, any suggestions, feel free to ask away and I'll be looking at the comments. But thanks so much for joining me, and I'm excited to get started on this quiche. So we made our dough for the crust last night because it's really important that it sits in the fridge to get chilled so that the butter doesn't get warm. And then just for the sake of time, I actually rolled out the pie dough or crust, and I set it in this 9-inch fluted pie or like tart container, and then cut the edges off so that they'll be fluted as well. You just want to roll it out into like a 12 or 13-inch circle, and then really lightly set it into your pan or like baking sheet like this, and then you will par bake it first so that the custard of the quiche doesn't seep out of the wet crust and get everything gross. So I am going to show you first how to par bake. I just want to say hi to everyone. I see Ernesto, I see Catherine, Anna, my mom, Dina. Hi everyone. I'm so happy you all are joining me. Thanks for coming. And I am going to just show you first how to par bake a crust. So you've got your crust all rolled out, and then you're just going to take some parchment paper that you've cut to be the size of your crust roughly, and you are going to get some dried beans or rice. You can even ball up foil. I have pie dough weights here, which just help the par baking process by not making the dough puff up too much. So you just pour these in over the parchment paper. These are reusable, which is cool. Okay. So as you can see now, all those little weights are in there, and you're gonna spread them out evenly. I'm seeing people ask like if the type of bean makes a difference, where you can buy these. You can buy these on Amazon. But the type of bean, as long as it's a bigger, like heftier bean, you're not gonna wanna use like a few lentils. But something that's a little bigger, a black bean, any kind of dried bean, or even rice. If you have a ton of rice, you can use that, but it's gonna be harder to reuse that. So we are gonna now pop this weighted dough into the oven, and the oven is set at 400 degrees, and we're gonna par bake this for like 7 minutes until it's just getting a tiny bit of color. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'll show it. There it is, right there. Degree Fahrenheit oven. And we're gonna pop that to which is what everyone associates with the quiche. It's the eggy part. So today we're making a fresh, like farmer's market style quiche. That just means I put a lot of veggies from our farm box in there. Today I purple potatoes and a whole leek. I think that's it. Yeah. And then I sauteed all of those together. Just a quick saute just to make things softened. You can use the green of the leeks if you'd like. You're just gonna need to saute it for a little longer. They're the harder part of the leek, so a lot of people just throw it out, but I say don't waste it. It's still delicious. Just cook it for a little while longer before all your other stuff. And then I seasoned it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then because it was popularly requested, we are also using some bacon today. So this particular quiche is not vegetarian, but it'll be good no matter what. Feel free to omit the bacon if you are veggie. So For our quiche, we are going to just combine 1/2 cup of whole milk with a 1/2 cup of heavy cream in a bowl and whisk it together. And then we're gonna add 4 large eggs. My mom is laughing at something, I don't know what. 4 large eggs. Oh, good. Anna's a fan of the bacon. Okay, so adding the eggs. And if you all have any quiche questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Also, any cooking questions in general or nursing school or anything, also just shoot me a message and tell me how you are. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so now I've got those 4 eggs. I'm gonna whisk them. Okay, you're gonna make sure all the yolks are broken and you've got a nice, creamy, light yellow mixture. I'll show you. There you go, kind of bubbly. It's gonna be nice and fluffy. So make sure your eggs and milk and cream are combined. Then we're gonna add garlic powder. I believe it's, let me look at my recipe. It is 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Get that. All right, dump the garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and however much salt you want. I like a little extra salt. I think I have about 1/2 teaspoon of salt in that original recipe, but my family likes salt, so then you're gonna just whisk it all together. Okay, so that's looking good. Now I'm going to add my mixture of veggies and bacon. And just keep whisking that up. Oh, I think we have a special guest. Griff, come. No. Okay, suddenly he's camera shy. Maybe not. Say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone.
Good deal. Griff, are you excited about quiche?
Always excited.
Always
for
excited.
A quiche.
Griff is our
is there
resident.
bacon?
There's bacon in there already. So he's excited about the bacon. Okay. Here is what our quiche looks like right now. So you can see all those veggies in there. Everyone wants more bacon. Good deal. Please add as much or as little bacon as you want, you guys. Bacon is delicious. And then lastly, to this custard, we are going to add feta cheese. We're gonna do 1/3 of a cup. Ooh. I really like feta, I might do more. And you can use whatever kind of cheese you like the most. We're using feta because we have it and because it's delicious, but this quiche would also be super delicious with like a Gruyere or a nutty Swiss cheese. A white cheddar would be really good. Just make sure it's shredded. That'll just make sure it melts more evenly. You could even put some Parmesan cheese in here. That would be pretty delicious. Yeah, it needs more cheese. Never enough cheese for me, you guys. I live in Philadelphia after all. Okay, let me see. Are there any other comments? Oh, everyone's excited about Griff. He is the guest star after all. If you haven't already, you can go check out on our story. He made some coffee this morning. He makes really good coffee and even I drank it, so that means it has to be good if it has my seal of approval since I never drink coffee. Unless I'm in nursing school, sometimes I do. Okay, so now you've got this beautiful custard with cheese and veggies. We're gonna set that to the side. Our pie crust will be ready pretty soon. Let me go check on it. Yeah, we've got 21 seconds. So at this time, you can be adding any other spices you want. If you want onion powder, that would be really good. Probably like stick to more savory spices. I have heard of people putting nutmeg in quiche, which actually would be pretty good, given if you did like a nutty cheese, like a Swiss, but I'm not gonna put any nutmeg in today. Okay, that was my timer for my little dough, so I'm gonna go check on that. I'm gonna give it like 45 more seconds. It's a little blonde still. It's just a little pale on top. Okay. Y'all are cracking me up. Thank you so much for being here. Does anybody have any questions about quiche or cooking or life, or want to tell me how you're doing and what you're doing right now besides watching Instagram Live? Everyone wants Griffin back. That's good to know. He is the definite star of this Instagram, and he has a new EP out, Mort Greenbaum. So find him on Instagram at Mort Greenbaum. He's got a new EP with a lot of good music. You can find all of his music on Spotify and Apple Music. I think it's really great. I know I'm partial because I'm his twin sister, but I think he's super, super talented. Let me grab the quiche and then I'll answer these questions. Okay, I'm just letting it cool off for a minute while we let this custard sit and let the flavors kind of meld together. How do you make a Philly cheesesteak? Philly cheesesteaks are delicious. Basically, you're gonna start with a hoagie roll. It has to be a hoagie roll. Come on, you're in Philadelphia. You're gonna do a hoagie roll, and then you're going to really, really thinly slice like some sirloin steak or any kind of steak you really want. Really, really thinly slice that and fry it off quickly with some onions. You can like caramelize the onions, would be even better. And some peppers would be really good. And then the unfortunate way a lot of places make Philly cheesesteak is with Cheese Whiz. So if you guys like Cheese Whiz, go ahead. I like provolone cheese on my Philly cheesesteak. It would be super good with like some hoagie roll. That is generally how you make a Philly cheesesteak. If you want a tutorial on that, I'm happy to do that too. Who is Lorraine from Quiche Lorraine? Such a good question, Mom. I don't know. I just thought they were delicious. That's definitely my favorite. Okay, let me put this down. When will I make hot dogs? Good question. Anna knows hot dogs are one of my favorite foods on the planet. I love hot dogs so much. Maybe I'll do a hot dog We're just gonna set our oven now down to 350 degrees. We don't want our quiche to be cooking at 400 because the texture of the quiche will be less light and custardy and more like baked scrambled eggs kind of. So we don't want that. So we are going to put our oven down to 350 and then we can get started on pouring the stuff into the quiche. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little pie weights out of my quiche, and then we're gonna just straight up pour our custard into the little quiche mold we've made. Ew, mold sounds gross, don't say mold. Okay. So let me see if I can show you that our quiche just has a little bit of brownness on the top. See how just around the edges it's just a tiny bit golden? That's exactly what we want. We don't want to bake it any more than that because otherwise it'll get like tough and really dry and you have the risk of burning your quiche in the oven if you get it to be a more uniform golden, like darker brown color. Okay, let me take out these pie weights. How are you all doing in this quarantine? I know it can be a rough time. Ooh. They are very round and they are rolling now. My dog won't eat that, it's fine. Okay, so you are just gonna pick up your, Rosie, no. You can hear her, she's coming because she heard oops. Okay. You're gonna pick up that parchment paper with the pie weights in it and just pour them right back from whence they came. So my crust is, I messed it up a little bit, but, oh, hi Rose. It's just par baked, as you can see, and that's exactly what we want. You can pour your custard mixture right into this while it's still warm. There is really no issue with that, and that is exactly what we're gonna do today. You might wanna whisk it up once more. Okay. Just pour it right in. Okay, make sure you get all the veggies in there. And then you can just spread out the filling. But here we have our quiche. Yes, Mom, my apron is on inside out. I just noticed that too. Thank you so much. So our oven has now gotten down to 350 degrees. We're gonna pop this quiche into the oven at 350 for like about 45 minutes. It could be closer to an hour for you, just depending on how your oven works. You're gonna look for a tiny bit of wobble when you shake the pan that the quiche is in. It'll just wobble a tiny bit. And that means that it's set enough, but that it is still like kind of light and fluffy and custard-like instead of scrambled eggy, or more like a frittata. Okay, so we're gonna go set this in the oven and then we'll be finished with quiche. No, Rosie. And then if you're using a pan like mine, which has a bottom that can come out, which is important with quiche, I would definitely highly recommend having a baking sheet that can go beneath your quiche just in case, God forbid, some of the custard spill out from the bottom. You'll be able to catch that easily and not have a mess of burnt egg all over your oven, which would not be fun. So here she is, our beautiful quiche. I am writing that out. And all right, we are gonna stick this into the oven. That's gonna be it. I'll check back in on you all in like 45 minutes to an hour. I was very happy to cook with you, and I hope you have fun making quiche or doing whatever else you're gonna do today. And if you liked having an Instagram Live instead of the story format I've been doing, feel free to tell me, and please make sure to let me know if there are any recipes you'd like to see made on vanilla and salt so that we can help you make them for yourself. All right, thank you so much. Bye.